This is way worse than we thought, as we have yet another Cowboys injury that has just been revealed to us, along with a new update on CeeDee Lamb that could see his injury period being extended. We'll get you the latest all right here on Cowboys Digest. Welcome everybody, I'm Jace Andrews. I appreciate you tuning in to today's show. Man, what a day this has been. What past 2 days this has been. You get embarrassed on the road at Soldier Field. Your defensive coordinator absolutely looks like he has no idea what's happening. And then in the aftermath, you have to worry about CeeDee Lamb potentially missing 3 to 4 weeks. And we now know that seems to be on the latter side. Plus, Tyler Booker, the Cowboys' first-round rookie guard. Yeah, guess what? Seems like he's going to be out for a good amount of time as well. We'll get you all the latest right here on Cowboys Digest. With that being said, though, we are here for your latest news, information, and rumors. So if you're looking for daily Cowboys content, we got you covered. Go down there, hit that subscribe button. I promise you will not regret it. With that being said, let's go into the report. Todd Archer has it saying the Cowboys will be without rookie guard Tyler Booker for 4 to 6 weeks because of a high ankle sprain suffered versus the Bears, per source. He played all 74 snaps. TJ Bass looms as the starter. Cowboys already without center Cooper Beebe, at least for the next 3 games with his injury. This could not be going worse for the Dallas Cowboys here in the first 3 weeks. We have seen injuries to Deron Bland, Cooper Beebe, CeeDee Lamb, Tyler Booker, and the list just goes on. I mean, I could sit here and name some other guys who had, nagging injuries the past couple weeks. Trevon Diggs, he had to go out yesterday. He's been on the injury report with an illness in his knee. Siobhan Revel Jr., rookie third-round pick. You expected that one, but still tough to see it be, this long. And I really don't know what to say at this point. I really don't know what to look at and say, how is this going to be better? And the worst part about it is it continues to talk about CeeDee Lamb and like, well, what's going on with him? Oh, well, Jerry Jones said that the Cowboys will consider placing him on IR. Seems like he will miss games, and probably he'll miss 4 games. Jones said that, quote, "We're looking at that. We'll watch it a few more days. We don't have to decide right now." Which is true. Technically, they can, put him on IR, and within sometime this week, and he'll miss the next 4 games. But the initial reports were that it was going to be, 2 weeks for sure, and then week to week after that. The hope was they were not going to put him on IR, and the thought was they weren't going to even think about it. Now we have a different report that says they might actually do that. So it's tough because when you look at this, the Cowboys have lost 3 offensive starters to high ankle sprains in the past 8 days. Cooper Beebe got injured in the Dallas Cowboys versus New York Giants game, and then both Booker and Lamb got injured in yesterday's game in Soldier Field. And so with this all being said, I have to ask, do the Cowboys have an injury problem? Like, is this a serious thing that they need to look into? If you think so, type Y for yes. If you think no, type in for no. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section because this is kind of getting ridiculous to me. Personally, I definitely think it's something to look at. I don't really know what the options are. I mean, high ankle sprains I don't think there's much you can do to build up that muscle. It's not like you're, hurting a muscle, tearing something. Like you're just spraining an ankle. Like it's just an unfortunate kind of luck. So I think in some ways they have an injury problem, but I don't think there's much they can do about it if that's the kind of overarching theme of it all. It's tough to see Booker go down as well. Patrick Walker of DallasCowboys.com says this: the offensive line in Dallas is already without starter center Cooper Beebe, who was moved to injured reserve just last week and is expected to miss upwards of 2 months. That thrusts Brock Hoffman into the role, and it will likely now be TJ Bass manning the post to Hoffman's right. So what do we know about TJ Bass? What's kind of MO with him and what's going on there? So first of all, let's go to the official depth chart and kind of talk about the movements around here. So we obviously know that Brock Hoffman is the starting center. You don't have a backup center right now. Cooper Beebe is going to be on IR for at least the next 3 weeks. Likelihood he'll be out for another 3 weeks after that. With that being said, though, now Tyler Booker potentially and probably will end up on the injured reserve as well. So you pop him off. TJ Bass pots into that right guard slot. And then after that, it's a kind of tough slope because at that point, you're working with technically 3 offensive lineman backups. And for a position that is so physically demanding and physically needing, it's kind of a tough thing to look at. It's really a tough thing to think about. And, it's hard to see what the positive side of this all is for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk about TJ Bass, though, because I think he's an important piece in all this. So if we look at TJ Bass, this was, again, he was signed as a UDFA back in 2023. In the preseason, he was actually very good in that 2023 preseason, so we're going back 2 years. Yes, I know, but still, it's something to have some sort of snaps off of. He had 80 pass block snaps. He had a 0 pressure allowed. This year, he's got like a 60 overall grade in PFF, but I'm not going to judge too much on that just specifically because the snaps that he has played has been legit garbage time or not worthy. I mean, he's not really popped in there all that much. And so when you think about you're getting that, and, there's some good news, bad news, but Tyler Booker for a rookie guard was doing some good things. I think he was ranked, 33rd of all guards in overall grade, which for a rookie I'm taking every day. The pass block rating wasn't great, and his run block rating was great. So you're going to get a kind of switch here with TJ Bass. He's definitely more of a pass blocking specialist than run blocking specialist. Good news is Javonte Williams seems to be able to run behind any offensive line, so that's a good thing there. But funny enough, I mentioned earlier about the injury problem, kind of what the Cowboys were looking at. Well, Jerry Jones, and the reason I asked the question is because Jerry Jones was asked, do the Cowboys have a problem? Like, is this something you're worried about, that there's been 3 weeks played and you've had a bunch of players injured? This is what he had to say. Quote, "We're early in the season, and you look, I really wouldn't say that we got enough here to get this done," Jones said. "We got enough. We really do. But it is frustrating, not just for this game, but the fact that you're looking at potentially games. That's frustrating. We're going to have players back, though, and are coming. But yeah, that's a setback for us. Lamb, of course, is a real serious loss for us." The big difference from last year and having all those injuries that we saw last season to this season, I think, is that the Cowboys, knowing what happened last year, were way better prepared for this season. I think if you think about the injuries we've seen, Reddy Stewart has been fantastic in that nickelback spot. In fact, I haven't seen Zion Childress out there much, and I think that's because of how good Reddy Stewart has played. With a cornerback, sometimes you don't want to mention his name, and I have really only seen Reddy Stewart get in the backfield. He made a good tackle against the Bears yesterday. Brock Hoffman is a very good replacement for Cooper Beebe. Had good PFF grades. TJ Bass is proven with reliable starting experience, and we know those preseason grades and him coming out of college as a UDFA, he's really exceeded expectations. So I have good faith in him, especially for his preseason ranking this season as well. And then George Pickens is technically a proven wide receiver one. I think he's obviously less than CeeDee Lamb. We can all say that. But again, it's George Pickens. He can go out there. He can compete. He can do the right things. But it's just hard when you think about all these injuries that seem to come into the Cowboys. And in some ways, I'm not going to say it's the way it happened, but you trade Micah Parsons, and not that it really has any depth right here, because you're going to have Jadeveon Clowney for the first time in your entire season coming up. So that's a big thing there. But also want to pull up this TJ Bass in terms of his college years. He had 1 sack allowed in 462 pass block snaps. So a pretty good rating there for Mr. TJ Bass. I really do feel that the Cowboys, as much as this sucks to see all these injuries, they've been well prepared for this. They've been in a good spot, and I hope they can go out there and do a lot of things. But again, the injuries have hurt, and you need to have some guys step up, and that includes George Pickens, who talk about being a proven wide receiver one. Last year, 894 yards on 14 games, 103 targets. I would say that's pretty good for a 14-game span. I would call that a wide receiver one. You expect that if he plays the full 17-game season, he's going to have upwards of 1,000 yards last year. Right now, he's got over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, back-to-back 68-yard performance with 5 receptions in each game. You've got the necessary means to work with these injuries. However, it just really stinks when you're looking at all this and trying to navigate through it, and it continues to punch you in the face and punch you in the face and punch you in the face. You lose your center, you lose a rookie guard, and you're a couple injuries away here from being a really, really, really tough spot, especially since these guys, as Jerry Jones said, it's not missing a game, it's missing games. That's the big thing. If it was one game, whatever, but they're missing games. That's not what you want to see. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section about all this. I'd appreciate if you get down there. Let me know what you're thinking. But for now, that's all we got for you here today on Cowboys Digest, and we'll see you next time. Peace out, everybody.